Welcome back to Newsmaker Live. We're talking creative industries, and with my guest, Christopher Hunt, consultant in the Ministry of Creative Industries. The lines are open. We're looking for your participation. If you have any questions or comments, Derek Walcott's nieces were here for his birthday celebration a little while back in January. We did an interview with them, which they made some comments about the arts, the development, where they would like to see it go. One of them, well, both of them agreed. There was something we touched on earlier: the need for more arts education,
definitely,
appreciation, and for the arts to evolve a little more. I'm paraphrasing what they said. To some extent, we're a little one-sided in terms of the development of the creative aspect of our culture. Too much Afrocentric concentration, whereas we're not exploring other areas like ballet and classical music that are accepted on a wider scale, on a world scale, that would give our artists an opportunity to go on we have a call. Let's take that call. Okay. Good evening, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, my question is that with the whole advent of the renaissance of art and culture and the creative industries, what physical structures is the establishment putting in place so as there could be a greater say more variety or more places or more performance avenue for the number of artists that are evolving at this point in time? I would listen. Okay, thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Okay. To answer that, I will say to you that, first of all, for the National Performing Arts Center, the Prime Minister literally went just before Christmas around there to Taiwan, and in record time, within about 3 weeks, the Taiwanese ambassador, the Republic of China and Taiwan, the embassy sent down a team of architects that made the rounds around the island, scouting out sites, meeting with various officials, discussing design elements and so on. So I can tell you everything from training facilities that also double as national landmarks that will be also National Performing Arts Center at a very high level planning stage right now. There are 3 sites that I know of that have been targeted, 2 in the north and 1 in the south. But also from the creative industry standpoint, we recognize that in tourism branding, the government has made a shift from beyond just regular tourism getting people to the island to community brands. So having community brands, so that just like in the States you have the Los Angeles Lakers or you have the Sunshine State of Florida, that you'll have Miku branded, or Labrie branded, or for example, Denry may be the adventure capital with its zip lining and sea surf type thing, or ancillary canneries may be the fish capital and so on. With that, we are going to have to establish cultural venues for performance. So let's take an example of the Indies nightclub or something like that. You're going to have the Canneries Church be that, so that people like Youth on Fire can have a home. You're going to have to take and say, for example, the Minister for External Affairs has been very passionate, even before he was in office, about having what he called a Labrie Log House, Kaibwa, on the waterfront for Joseph Ides Simeon, so that they could have a cultural venue with a distinct architectural appeal and making Labrie the French Quarter of St. Lucia. Also, with regard to Vieux-Fort, we looked at the Castries, the old Vieux-Fort Market has enormous potential as a retrofitted venue. So there's a look to having all of these places have some sort of cultural venue. Same way that you have a football field or playing field. We don't want to be consistently borrowing from the Ministry of Sports and so on, youth development. But we want to have cultural venues all around the island that are branded for the different communities, just like a football club.
Okay, let's go back to the lines. Good evening, you're on the air.
Good evening, gentlemen. I almost did not want to interrupt, but, I just wanted to call to endorse the program of the creative industries.
Thank you.
Especially on the rectorship, so to speak, of Mr. Hunt. I think you've injected really a sense of, pride, ownership. I've actually gotten the young people especially to come out, and also the already established groups to realize, look, there is truly a place, truly a place, a real place for all these groups in the cultural landscape of St. Lucia. But just on the side, I want to say, look, if the Taiwanese have not come down to Vieux-Fort as of Vieux-Fortian, I want to say,
oh, they have.
Well, I guess they have stopped looking. If they have come down to Vieux-Fort, they have stopped looking, because Vieux-Fort is the place for that.
I suspect everything is Vieux-Fort now.
we can take everything. We have the space. We have the ambience is there, everything is there. But moreover, to get back on track, I just want to say that I really appreciate the fact that last year we were told that for this year's independence, that the celebrations would have been moved on to the south. I know they were doubting Thomases and so on.
Of course.
The reality is that it is here now. And as Euphortians, as St. Lucians in general, we need to appreciate that we can move this thing around to share the cake, so to speak. Each community gets a slice. I would not like to see that it is shared just between Vieux-Fort and Castries, but that every major community will be able to get a sense of, that they are actually part of this thing. I not only hope but expect Vieux-Fortians to demonstrate a level of acceptable discipline during this, these activities. I know we're going to live up to it. I know Vieux-Fortians, for example, are going to be very hospitable, are going to be very respectful, as we always are, to our guests. And I want to take the lead in saying, to all St. Lucians from all the different communities that, look, you're welcome, and you will be able to see what, the southern hospitality once again, is about. But I just wish the organizing committee every success, and I want to tell you guys, just, keep up the good work. In the CAPSEC, we have a wonderful
Definitely.
Somebody who knows what he's about and who has been able to take this thing and run with it, with the creative industries, with you and the other members of the team, Mr. Sidney and all those persons. I believe that, we definitely have what it takes to pull it off, and all St. Lucians should come out and give the full support.
Well, thank you very much, caller.
You're welcome.
I must say that, like I said, for the CABSEC himself to realize and to come to understand that the official dumb was nice, but it also sort of didn't allow people to participate. Now you have people having status pics of graphics of St. Lucian flags and imagery and so on, and the promotion and the level of buy-in that you get in among the youth, and even the older generation coming back in and getting into independence beyond the political histories and everything that they're getting into. It is fantastic. Now I also noticed something. I believe that people, once you reach the top of the morn and you pass Goodlands, that somehow it becomes the south. I find that people literally from the north now have gotten to the point that once they reach Bexar, it's as if that's too far, right? Now we have to change that. St. Lucia is a great place to lime. And to be honest, when people say the south, they're literally talking from Dennery, Canaries, all the way around, everywhere coming down. But I will tell you, and I make no apologies, we have said it, we want to capsize St. Lucia. We want everybody in the south so much that literally St. Lucia is going to be tilted. And we do believe that we can do it. We're already seeing the amount of people making plans, people that make rekindling relationships with families that they probably were in boards with, so that they can find themselves down there and have a place to crash. Because I will say one thing, the principle of the pre-party, the party and the after-party will be in full effect for independence, which means that we are taking you all the way through the night to the morning, to the next night, to the next morning. So as long as people have their energy drinks, I do believe, and if you can go and train, I do believe that you may be able to make it, because much like a jazz festival, a carnival and everything from a Juvet to a beach bash is going to be down in Vieux-Fort.
Back to the lines. Good evening. You have a call?
Good evening. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Christopher, when you were first appointed, I must admit, I was a bit skeptical, and I wondered where you would go with that appointment. Are you laughing?
Back in the Castries River.
Pardon?
You thought I'd go back in the Castries River?
Not necessarily so. Not necessarily so. Because I knew you had something in you. And I'll tell you, I will root for you. I will continue to root for you, and I'm looking forward to what is going to happen in Vieux-Fort. I live at Labrie, by the way.
Oh yes, Labrie has something on the Saturday as well, a youth concert I forgot to mention.
All right, well that's where I'll start. Like I said, my brother, mop out your mouth and your brains.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Now, for me, we have another call? No? Okay. The thing is that I understand in the beginning of any portfolio that people will make it about the person. And my father always told me that a prime minister or leader is really a human resource manager. I understood the risk, if you want to take it, that the prime minister may have been taken because of perceptions with regard to me. But the truth of the matter was that I also was chomping at the bit for the chance to contribute. And there are a lot of people on the outside who complain about a lot of things, and there's nobody that complains more than me. I get a lot of licks over it. But the chance to change these things is fantastic. And just looking at Independence Now, where you're seeing people selling T-shirts, seeing people stand up on the road with flags for sale in the correct colors.
The cars draped with flags.
Yes, I'm sorry, I love the bonnet flag. It even messed up the paint job on my van. But I will tell you, I love it. I love to see the little gas tank things. I love it, all of it. I love everything in St. Lucian when it comes to this time of year and right through the year.
Yeah. We're due for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Christopher Hunt, a consultant in the Ministry of Creative Industries. We'll be right back.